23 years old, I was diagnosed with inflammatory bowel disease. I'd never heard of it. My family had never had it. My mom really helped save my life. I was like, what do I have to do? Just take me to the doctor. I was focused. I wanted to build a company. I bought my first company at 18 years old. I worked 60 hours a week. Since 14, I was just dedicated. You get diagnosed with an incurable disease while you're going full steam ahead. I did nothing to deserve it. It wasn't like I was smoking a pack a day for 20 years. I was in the gym. I was eating clean. And then I'm the one who gets an incurable disease. I became a victim and I didn't even know it. I was so angry. I went from a stronger guy for my size, I was 173 pounds, 6% lean, to I can't even get a blanket. I was housebound for 6 weeks. I wasn't sure if I was gonna live. I thought I might die. And I had to laugh, because what else are you gonna do? If you're gonna heal your mindset, whether you're gonna go build a $100 million company or you're gonna heal yourself, it's the same recipe. You've gotta find balance in the storm.
A lot of this stuff that we might normally hear in personal development comes from a place of winning, money, dream achievement. This mindset has so much more strength and validity because it's saving your life. It's more powerful when your life literally is on the line.
When you lose everything, you realize what everything truly is. I learned how to stop being angry and being a victim of life and start focusing on solutions. I made a rule. I can't tell anyone a problem unless I tell them a possible solution. If I'm a victim, I'm going to enroll others that I'm still sick, instead of acting like you're already healed. The first thing I did to heal is I stopped acting sick.
All right, you guys, I got Dane Johnson. I've been spending about, 15, 20 minutes getting into a story before you guys are hearing it. And let me just tell you, you're in for a treat today. This is really special. Dane Johnson's got an incredible story, very successful. But I think I'll just preface this by saying, imagine being a young kid, super good looking, and really working yourself into the modeling world, working for Tommy Hilfiger, Nautica, and then all of a sudden you get sick. You have the whole world by the ass, and then you get sick. And it's an emotion that I want to bring to you guys right now, because I think it's a profound part of his story, is that everything might be going good and all of a sudden you get sick. What would you do? And he's lucky that he's here right now. So I'm going to just kind of pause there. I want you to tell the story, Dane. I think it's really powerful, and there's a lot of gold that's going to come out of this conversation. But welcome to Man on a Mission, man. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much for having me, man. I'm blessed to be here, grateful. Thank you for the time. And I also want to dedicate this to anyone out there who's chronically sick, has a family member who's chronically sick, and wants to thrive, wants to see them thrive. This is dedicated to you. I promise I'm going to give you all the good energy and options and solutions that I can in the time we have. Thank you for being here, guys.
That was really special. So Dane is the founder and CEO of Crohn's Colitis Lifestyle. Mm-hmm. How did that come to be, Dane?
Right. So Zoolander to talking about bowel movements, right?
Yeah.
How ironic God can be.
Right.
It was something where at 19 years old, I was in college with my buddies, being a good old boy, drinking the beers, playing a little sport, lifting weights. And all of a sudden I started getting blood in the stool. And going, what's that? And you don't want to tell anyone. It's not like we walk up to our friends going, hey, man, I just had blood in the stool. What do you think about that?
Sure.
What do you think I should do? At 19 years old. And if we remember ourselves at 19, we weren't thinking that smart about things. So I, a few years as it went on, I was seeing a little bit of symptoms. But at 23 years old, I was diagnosed with inflammatory bowel disease. And there are two main forms of that, ulcerative colitis and Crohn's disease. And the main difference, ulcerative colitis predominantly affects the colon or large intestine, so the lower part of your 28 feet in your GI tract, where the Crohn's disease is more widespread, anything from your mouth all the way down to the anus. Your entire 28 feet of GI tract can be inflamed. And it's really chronic inflammation in the bowel that we don't truly understand. We're not sure why it's happening. Now, in functional medicine, what I'll talk about today is that, hey, there are some root issues that we find going on, such as digestion, microbiome, gut lining, drainage pathways, liver, nervous system, vagal nerve regulation. If anyone listening's heard of these points, these are things that I found some root issues that needed to be fixed. So I was diagnosed with this inflammatory bowel disease. I never heard of it. My family had never had it. Wow. My mom was the one, and my mom really helped save my life. As a young kid, she was the one there who was going, I'm going to research this. I'm going to try to look for the best doctors. I'm going to get ahead of this. And thankfully, as a kid, I was like, what do I have to do? Just take me to the doctor. They'll give me a shot.
Sure.
Let me go about my way. Because I was focused. I wanted to build a company. I always saw myself as an entrepreneur. I bought my first company at 18 years old. I worked 60 hours a week since I was 14 years old. So Papa John's pizza plus school, C's get degrees. Sorry to say it, but I was more about working.
Yeah.
So, since 14, I was just dedicated. And all of a sudden, something happens where you get diagnosed with an incurable disease while you're going full steam ahead. And why I was so angry about that, and a lot of people can relate with that anger, is I did nothing to deserve it. It wasn't like I was smoking a pack a day for 20 years. I wasn't abusing my body anyway. I was in the gym. I was eating clean. I was, doing wind sprints and heavy lifting and getting my macros right and trying to get ready to be able to be in that acting, be in that modeling, and I came from Virginia. No one found me at a mall or in the streets and declared me. I moved myself to LA and grinded and said, hey, I'm going to try to give this career a chance. So to have that kind of ambition at a young age, when all your friends are still just sitting around watching Netflix, drinking beers and eating fast food, and then I'm the one who gets an incurable disease.
Yeah, right.
Right? And I'm just painting the picture of the anger I had as a 23-year-old man, like, why do I deserve this? And a lot of us relate with that. Like, I'm the one who's willing to work. Everyone else is lazy about it. Why is this happening to me or my family? And then the hardest lesson I learned in that time, Eric, was like, I became a victim and I didn't even know it. I was so angry. So it's like, I'm having 20 bloody bowel movements a day. I went from 185 pounds, 6'2", to 122 pounds over a course of a few years, just losing weight. At my worst, I couldn't walk. I was wheelchair bound. I would have, it would feel like you're pooping glass. So imagine not being able to have a bowel movement. It just strains and it just feels like there's glass coming out. And then you look down and it's a crime scene. And you're shameful. Wow. You're losing control of your bowel movements. And I'm supposed to be the good looking guy.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to be Mr. Jolly Rancher. Hey, let's go take some pictures.
Right.
No. I'm running to the restroom. I remember I shot in Jamaica once for the Sandals Resort. Like, hey, come visit here and vacation here. Have you seen those commercials?
I've been to Sandals. Many of them.
We're shooting a commercial with my fake wife, and I'm in $800,000 of Tommy Bahama stuff. And I'm running into the woods, and the director's going, where are you going? And I'm saying, I have to throw up. Nah, it was coming out the other way. So I'm just relieving myself in the woods on set that I'm supposed to be that guy. So maximum shame, lying, my life is 2 different degrees of the truth.
So you were hiding it.
I was hiding it from my agents. I was
because you're this pro model that's repping all these big brands. I get it. Yeah.
It's honestly, no.
It's terrible.
It was a great gift for me in life, but it is the most vain thing you can do in a career.
I get it.
But as a 22-year-old kid, you built this option where you can go fly around the world and take pictures. Who's going to say no to that? I mean, I was lucky enough to be a certain height and fit the clothes and be personable.
Can I pause you there? So at this point, do you realize how bad it can get? Or do you think this is the worst it can get? Are you afraid of death at this point? Are you just thinking you can hide this and get away with it and then keep this career going? And then last question that I think is interesting that popped up is if you would have been honest with everyone to just get it off your chest, do you think they would have continued working with you in the modeling agency, or would they literally have said, you're not a fit anymore because of this problem you have?
Great question. No, I would have lost my career. Yeah. There's no way, because these were
So you had to do it.
These were some of the elites. Well, I did come clean to my main agent in Los Angeles.
Sure.
I literally started bawling my eyes out right in front of her because I was scared. It wasn't that I was just scared I was going to lose this career. This was the only source of income I had.
It was your life.
Living 3,000 miles away from any family members.
Yeah.
So if
you're
I
a kid
quit,
still too. Let's be honest.
I'm a kid. I don't have money.
Yeah.
I'm trying to build something. I'm trying to build a name. I want to live in
LA,
Miami.
I do the same thing.
And I had agents New York, Germany, LA, all over. And so it was like, you're going to have to move back in with mom, work on disability, take drugs. The doctors want to cut out your colon and attach a bag to your stomach. I mean, so was I scared of death? No, I wasn't scared of death. I was scared of.
Well, did you think that was a possibility? Like, was that part of the diagnosis, I guess?
Most people who get diagnosed with inflammatory bowel disease are not worried of dying of it. The biggest fear is more, I'm going to get colon cancer from it after 8, 10, 12 years of the chronic inflammation, that a tumor will develop, or the surgery. The surgery is very scary for a lot of us, and a lot of people listening may know that surgery. But eventually, my case, and one of the things that led me, you said, how did I get here, is my case was one of the worst of the worst. So there's rarely I'll meet someone who I work with in IBD who had a worse case than me. So I was chronically sick for 4 years before I ever got any results. And this is trying diets, trying carnivore, trying paleo, doing bone broth fast, making my own raw homemade yogurts, taking hookworm therapy, standing on my head and clapping my toes. I mean, it was, I was.
So you were trying everything.
Yes, and I'll tell you exactly what I was missing, but I was spending money like my family. I had my family at a young age was spending money like drunken sailors to try to help me through conventional, what insurance wouldn't cover, flying to the best doctors, staying at hotels, buying out Whole Foods because Google said so.
Yeah.
And I was just lost. And the biggest thing I want to connect with everyone is the way to get out wasn't obvious. The smartest minds around me couldn't tell me how to get out. Sad. Like right now you're listening to this podcast because there's a lot of nuggets on how to get out. There was nothing for me, man. I was so desperate. I mean, I'm literally reliving this right now. All I had was a few books of some random people I would never meet who wrote a book and they said they got themselves out, and that was my only anchor. Like when they say, what's your anchor in life? The Rock always likes to say that, I love The Rock when he says that. I was like, my anchor was just Jordan Rubin or Elaine Gottschall, if you know them, like the few books of people who had went through what I had went through and said, I got out. And I said, if that one guy said he could get out in 2010, 2011, before it kind of blew up what we're doing now, then maybe I can too. And so eventually, yes, in 2014, December 2014 is where I wasn't sure if I was going to live, that I thought I might die. And my mom and dad flew in, my sisters flew in. I was housebound for 6 weeks. And I think what helped save my life is I was already back in school for natural medicine. I had been practicing natural medicine for a year straight, where my mindset, the energy, what to eat, the microbiome, learning root issues, I had some skill set. But then what happened, and one of the root causes I want to go over and give everyone an idea of if you are sick and you're looking at what could be the problem. It wasn't the diet killing me. It wasn't the glyphosate. It wasn't the, even bacteria. I had developed a severe amount of cytomegalovirus active in my body. And cytomegalovirus is a common virus that can take over a person's body when they have a weakened immune system. This is common with people who have certain cancers or HIV. And so now it took a lot of months and a lot of years to even figure that out. There was a doctor in Florida who called the ER doctor where I was in LA to tell him that he believed that was the theory. We never even found it. And then we had to call insurance to give me a chemotherapy antiviral to save my life.
They put you on chemo?
They put me on chemo. Wow. So I was on chemo where it's destroying my red blood cells. I can't think properly. I was bed rested after that for 2 months before I could walk again. And then I was housebound for a total of 1 year before I got back out.
And is it housebound because you didn't have the energy or the strength, or is it because you had to stay so close to the bathroom? I mean,
both.
Really? I mean, so it's a miserable life.
You can't imagine.
Was this hell?
I was so weak. If I tried to flex my calf, it would cramp up from all the muscle atrophy, all the weight loss, all the lack. I had no nutrients in my body. I couldn't absorb anything. So all the building blocks, the magnesium, the calcium, the iron, the electrolytes, the proteins, my gut can't absorb any of it. I was on a feeding tube.
My God.
So I didn't even eat. So feeding tube, 3 grams of Dilaudid, 200 milligrams of infused prednisone. Then I was on 2 different antibiotics, and I was on chemotherapy. And then you're coming out of it, the skin was falling off my body. I was so stuck with toxins because the body stores toxins in the fat tissue, and I had no fat.
What a story.
So I'm sitting here, and I'm begging my mother, I'm begging my God to take it away, the pain.
So did you ever consider suicide as like, let me take more of these pills just to end this?
I love life too much.
Good
I got too much fire in me. You're not gonna bleepity bleep me down.
So even in the worst, that's a hard thing to hear someone go through all this pain. A year of being bedridden like this, home ridden, and all this medicine, chemo. I'm just trying to imagine how hard someone's life can get. So again, perspective. You think you got it hard. This is really hard to even hear, but you still had a fire burning inside you of will.
I had a fire because I had gotten close with my naturopath professor, and I had found people I connected to, like. The thing that saved my life, because when you ask, was I suicidal? Absolutely not.
So
but I was okay with closing my eyes and not opening them again.
Sure.
I said, Mom, I just made $40K in New York doing some modeling jobs. Take it. That's what I told her. I was like, take it. I want you to have the money, because she'd spent almost.
So you're
all her
still
money.
Modeling in 2014 around this time. You were still.
Because I was taking steroids or whatever to try to suppress it and then hiding it. And then I would be on sets with severe symptoms. And they'd say, Dane, you look underweight.
Yeah.
Your picture, you don't look like your pictures right now. And I'd say, oh, and I would tell them, I was just in Europe doing Milan fashion shows where they wanted me skinnier.
What a racket.
Lie. I would just straight lie.
I get it. Totally.
In Jamaica, I just wouldn't eat. And I would just get prednisone and up it, just steroids.
Yeah.
Just steroids to suppress the inflammation.
God,
and it was a complete lie for a number of years. And I was covered in cystic acne. So I remember on one set in Puerto Rico, I had Marilyn Monroe's wardrobe guy was on set.
Really?
And he was, because I was just talking to him, and he's like, oh yeah, I do a lot of Marilyn Monroe's, or makeup artist. And I was like, dude, I need you to meet me an hour before set and paint my body, because I was covered in cystic acne.
Did you tell him?
And it was a swimsuit. It was a swimsuit show. So I had to be shirtless the entire time. And so I took off my shirt, and he's like, oh, bro, I got you.
Do you have a picture of that? I'd love to just see like what you were.
Yeah.
God, that's crazy to
everyone,
because we know you now.
We can clip it in. I'll show the picture of
We
all
will.
the acne,
This
all
is,
this stuff.
This is crazy.
So I've got before pictures of acne. I don't have, and the funny thing is now I have zero acne, zero symptoms.
No, you're the face of
Healthier
health.
than healthier.
Oh, this is cool.
But the pain of it, and I just
you.
hope everyone can relate, because that's why I'm here. That's why I feel like I can be a leader.
Yeah.
That's why I feel like I have supreme discipline in my life, and I go towards what true happiness is. I try to cut through the idea of, happiness is partying and drugs and even abusing sex or abusing other people, and like, just what is it? When you lose everything, you realize what everything truly is. And what everything truly is the ability to call your mom and say, I love you, thank you. Yeah. It's the ability to call your best friend and say, I'm good, how's your life, brother? I'm good. Dane, are you alive? Yeah, I'm fine. How are you? Are you going to marry her? How's the job? How's the work going? I learned how to stop being angry and being a victim of life and start focusing on solutions. I made a rule at 26 years old. I'm housebound for 4 months. Here's my new rule. I can't tell anyone a problem unless I tell them a possible solution.
Beautiful. That's really good.
I won't even, how's your day? If I tell you a problem, I got to tell you a solution.
Wow.
Instead of, I'm still having a lot of blood. Hey, mom, the blood's 20% down.
Yeah.
How much do you think your family member wants to hear that? It's 20% down, baby. Let's go.
Yeah.
I'm winning. If I can get it 20, I can get it 40.
Yeah.
Instead of, it's still here. See, if I'm a victim, I'm gonna enroll others that the blood is still here.
Sure.
I'm gonna enroll others that I'm still sick.
Right.
Instead of acting like you're already healed. The first thing I did to heal is I stopped acting sick.
Wow.
I was sick. I had a beard. I looked like Castaway. I looked like I had been in a war camp. I weighed 122 pounds. I wore the same clothes. I was in pajamas. I couldn't even walk. And it was like 2 months later, my sister was sleeping on my couch. So my sister and my mom would take turns sleeping on my couch because I didn't want to leave California. I'd be dead if it wasn't for my family, and I wouldn't be dead if it wasn't for my doctors. God bless them both. I didn't do this alone. Okay, I'm only here to speak what I realized and help other people do it.
Yeah.
So, when I went through that, I remember this one day where I was like, I'm done being miserable. It took me an hour to get ready. Because UGG had gifted me some great boots. I was like, oh man, I'm waiting to wear these boots. I love these boots. Like, I really liked them, but they were so heavy, I couldn't put them on. I couldn't put them on.
Wow.
I remember I woke up in cold sweats at night, like shivered, a pool of sweat in your bed. Like, so bad you can't sit back in the bed. Like, towels won't even do it, that bad. And you already weigh 130 pounds. Can you imagine losing that much water? I tried to get up. I was shivering, and I tried to get up to grab a dry blanket. So every night I'd have to change and clean my sheets from all the night sweats, from the viruses and all the stuff my body was trying to get rid of. And I fell over, and I couldn't even put my hand up to get it. I was walking around with a cane. So how do you go from a 320-pound bench, 6% body fat? I was one of the actors and models who was in great shape. I was like, no, I'm going to have an edge on you. I'm going to have an edge. You're smoking weed, eating Doritos because you got a pretty face and you fit the clothes? No. I'm up. I'm working out twice a day. So I couldn't even put my hand up to reach something. So I went from a stronger guy for my size, I was 173 pounds, 6% lean, to I can't even get a blanket. And I had to laugh, because what else are you going to do? You're going to cry and laugh at the same time. So I had to laugh. I had to, I remember I saw Dallas Buyers Club, and I was like, Matthew McConaughey, thank you. And I just shaved everything except the mustache, and I was 122 pounds with a mustache, and you can show that clip here too, just to try to create laughter. If you're going to heal your mindset and you're going to do big things, whether you're going to go build a $100 million company or you're going to heal yourself, it's the same recipe. You've got to find balance in the storm. You've got to run towards a smile. You've got to run towards positive energy, because it's not always obvious where to feel good. It's not always obvious where to find balance. And you've got to stop being a victim, and you've got to stand up and say, I am going to decide what is my truth, what is my perspective.
Wow.
Because they're the same thing. What is truth? Am I sick? Am I happy? Am I sad? Am I angry? And so all that pain and all that fear and all that turmoil taught me, what is it to be sick? Like, what is that reality? How can I define that? What is it to be happy? So when I couldn't walk, but I could call my mom, I was like, in my head, Dane, would you rather be sick and your mom's still alive, or your mom dead and you be perfectly healthy?
Right.
What would you choose?
No, it's a good perspective shifter in the worst moment ever.
Give me the sickness, baby. Let's go.
I'm with you. What a way to stay calm in a crazy storm.
Yeah.
These habits that you're tapping into right now, and these little systems that I'm hearing you sort of create every day to stay in this mindset, was that being coached into you somehow, or is this all you, like, coming up with these little ways to stay, not just sane, but try to thrive in the worst setup ever?
I don't believe.
Were you reading something at the time?
Oh,
this is powerful.
When I think the word for it for me, honestly, is God, because God is the all-knowing. This is something I realized. I had a lot of epiphanies. Yes, I was reading a ton, but the epiphanies were coming from calming my mind and looking from the answer within. I believe a lot of the answers are already inside of us. If me and you listen to someone, if someone's listening right now and they're feeling us, the reason they're feeling us and they're saying this is so fire is because the information is already inside of them, and it's just waking them up. Yeah. All I did is wake up the true wisdom of what it is to be human, what it is to be empowered, what it is to be, I think, God's creature. Like, you have all of these abilities, and we just need to wake up to them.
Yeah, and if you're not sick, you really have them. Yeah,
exactly. So when you, and we said this earlier, if you are really sick, it's easy to get disciplined.
Yeah, right.
When you get really sick, if you're going to decide to heal, you're going to have some epiphanies of what it is to be happy. Because you can't heal if you're not happy. All disease will continue to thrive if you are not grateful, experiencing love, experiencing peace, experiencing positive energy. So take a positive adjective. You need those in your life more than the describing frequencies of negativity. Yeah. I had every reason to be a victim, to be angry, to be resentful, to be alone. Yeah. Especially housebound for a year. How do you do that? I decided to walk away from it, walk towards a smile, a positive energy. Call your friend, go outside, start gardening, get your feet in the ground, read. I read about 3 to 4 hours a day. Sure. Because I realized that I can't read Tony Robbins. I can't read Jordan Rubin, who is big for IBD. I can't read all these different people and think about my problems at the same time.
Sure.
Everyone out there wants you to do something. Try to read a page of a book and then think about your problems at the same time.
You can only do one or the other.
So if you're reading for 30 minutes straight, that's a relief from the same 40,000 thoughts you're having every day. Right. And you're taking someone that you know has done great things that you want to say, hey, this is a mentor to me. And now you're getting their mind and your mind. And so that saved my life. How did I do it? I mean, my natural professor used to say, you need to start meditating. I said, I don't really want to, but I will, because I'm going to seek discomfort, because I know the answer is outside of my comfort zone. That was an epiphany I had, is that if you were trying to change your life, the answer is outside of what is comfortable. Because if it was comfortable, you would have already done it. Okay, if you know that to be true, I would have already done it. I've already thought of it if it was comfortable. So it's most likely, you have to get out of your comfort zone. You have to do something uncomfortable. When I calm my mind, when I got oxygen in my body, I saw my nervous system got better. I had better thoughts. I could handle someone being negative to me better. Same thing if you're a CEO and you have to deal with someone, or you have to deal with a customer, right? It's like you have to be able to have your cup filled to be able to give. And so I had to get my cup filled again so I could give to patience of being sick, give to the uncertainty that I might not get better, give to the uncertainty that I might have to get my colon removed, give to the uncertainty that I might be on drugs for the rest of my life, that I might have just lost my career forever. Because I stopped any kind of work. I didn't make money for a year, and I still had to pay rent. Right. I still had to pay my bills. My family absolutely helped in a big way, but I was blessed. And you know, you have to seek discomfort and be willing to fail in order to win. If you are not willing to fail, it is impossible to succeed at the level you want to.
Well, I love that you're saying this through the context of being so sick that you're probably really close to death. Yeah. Potentially every day. And one slip of your mindset may have quickly exacerbated that right to the finish line for you. And I guess I have a few questions, and I'm writing down these notes because this stuff is so good. I like it because a lot of this stuff that we might normally hear in personal development comes from a place of winning, money, dream achievement. This mindset, from my perspective, has so much more strength and validity because it's like it's saving your life. It's keeping you alive, keeping hope in God in the present is such a powerful thing. But it's more powerful when your life literally is on the line and the reality of your life is hell. But you're still finding these ways to see things through this beautiful lens. Some things I wrote down is that you would always focus on solutions, even being sick. That's crazy. Mm-hmm. I love that you said this. People will enroll in your misery and unhappiness. They'll enroll in. I've never heard it said that way before. What a powerful thing to not enroll people that you're a victim when you're literally dying and you're on a toilet 30 times a day with blood coming out. I just can't even imagine how you felt on the drugs, the prednisone. That is the worst feeling, to be on that kind of medication, and you just amp yourself up to be able to show up to try to earn $1. Point is this. Going through all this, and you have this mindset, and I asked you about it, and do most people that get sick from your perspective, like you were, or even, maybe not as sick as you because you were one of the worst cases, but do a lot of them naturally tap into this mindset, or this just seems rare that you can have this much of a powerful perspective in the bowels of no pun intended, of this terrible situation without a lot of powerful guidance? It almost seems like I would need a lot of powerful guidance if I was as sick as you. And I'm being honest with myself, and I have a warrior spirit. Maybe I would come out of it the way I do, but if I'm in that much pain, it would be so easy to get people to register and enroll, and how miserable I am, like a little baby, but no, not you. And is it common? Is this right here, step one for someone that is sick? Get their mind right.
No, not at all. It's very rare, and here's why.
Wow.
Because I couldn't do it for 4 years.
Okay, so you had to build this up. Yeah.
I'm not, right, guys, I'm not better than you in any way. I just suffered so much for so long that when you suffer enough, it keeps bending your mind of your willingness. Mm. I was the complainer. I was the victim.
You went through it.
I went through it. I was waiting for the doctor to give me the answer. Right. Give me the drugs. I went on Entyvio, Remicade, Prednisone. I went on methotrexate. I went on Liauda. I went on antibiotics on and off. I took prednisone on and off like Skittles, 60 milligrams, all titrate down to 0, back to 40, titrate down, back to 40, titrate down, budesonide, low-dose naltrexone. Yeah. I wanted my life back. I was a kid. I'm saying that the pain turns the purpose. You cannot become a warrior without pain. Yeah. If you want to do big things in this life, be careful what you ask for. I had been asking God for big things since I was 14, sitting in the middle of the woods in Virginia.
Here it is.
And here it is, baby. Let's go. And I was angry, and I was resentful, and I was a victim. And then finally something snapped. I got off a plane. I lost control of my bowel movements in the most shameful way. Oh. And I got there, and something snapped inside of me. And I just said, boop, up. I am not leaving this house until I have a plan to heal myself. I am now the CEO of my health. I dubbed myself the CEO. It is not the doctor's job to heal me. It is not my mother's job. It is not my father's job. It is not my girlfriend's job to heal me. It is my job to heal me. Wow. And I am going to run this ship, and I am not leaving this house, not for money, not for nothing, not for nobody, because the number one priority of my life is now healing. Right. And the second thing I did that I had never done for 4 years, Eric, the second thing I did when that snapped inside of me, to get what you're saying, so 4 years of failure, is I went on my knees and I prayed. Mm. I didn't stand up and say, oh, thank you, come on, dude, help me out. I got on my knees and I prayed to God. And I got to a point where I didn't care about shame. I didn't care about talking about it. I am going to do whatever I need to do to take back my life. Wow. And if you can feel that right now, I let you know. I'm reliving it.
We feel
when you go through real pain, it's a blessing because you can tap into it. It was crazy because a week after I started praying, I slept through the night. So for a year straight, I woke up to have 2 to 3 bowel movements every single night. So I didn't sleep. I was a zombie. And so a week later, but at the same time as I prayed, I started journaling. I don't know what to eat. Should I be all carnivore? Should I be all plants? Should I only eat fruit? Should I just fast and see if it'll go away? I said, I don't know the answer, but I can journal everything I eat and what I intuitively know is helping or not. So I made my intuition the sharpest sword in my kit to start. My intuition. You are a powerful person. You need to sharpen your intuition. There are 3 things God gives us to get massive success. I don't care if it's marriage, fame, money, health. It's all the exact same. You need to sharpen these 3 things. Your ability to create. You said, where's this wisdom come? It came from inside. When I calmed myself down, I was able to create. Now, all three work together. If you build all three, they will synergistically make themselves more powerful individually. Creation. You have to be creative. Take thought, put it in action. Create. 2, intuition. What is helping you? What is hurting you? You have no idea what your symptoms were 2 weeks ago. You have no idea what's going on. What's the feedback from your body? What's the feedback from your customers? You need to sharpen your intuition. So I journaled every day what I ate, how I felt, when I went to the bathroom, how many bowel movements, what did it look like? Did I have blood? 1 out of 10. What was the blood? Did I take my supplements? How much water did I have? Nightly notes. Did I do my health boosters? Maybe it was sauna. Maybe it was walking outside. Maybe it was meditation. Maybe it was earthing. Maybe it was prayer. I did a prayer morning and night with essential oils transdermally and through smell. That's off the dome. That's 15%. I created all that. Now, I was reading books to help inspire me and give me a sharper intuition. I was journaling, so 2 weeks later, I had a sharper intuition. 1 year later, I journaled for about 190 days straight, everything I did. So 190 days later, I was sharp as an axe on what worked for me, where I could cherry pick from this book, I could cherry pick from this diet, I could cherry pick from this Chinese herb, this Oriental medicine, this integrative medicine. And so I had my own custom shield. That's why I call my program Shield. It's not the ability to eradicate disease. It's the ability to respond to adversity that is the answer to all success. It is your ability to respond. So the third thing is manifestation. If you are not intuitive and you are not practicing creation, you are never going to manifest your dreams. What is the language you are using? Prayer is language. What is the vibration you're putting out? How are you responding to negative energy? It's coming. It's coming. I don't care what success you have. If you want to do something rare, the 95% against that rare will be a negative energy, and you have to learn to balance that energy and push the light through, the positivity. Yes. Listen more. Talk about solutions. Say, I love you more. Say, thank you more. Stop telling people what's wrong and tell them what's right. Start your day. Start your meetings with your team with what's good. Don't go start with the problem. Start with what's good. You have to balance positive energy or you will get overwhelmed. People, when all of this pain I'm now aware, now coming out of the pain and being healed, I can look at life and I'm so aware of what energy is, what happiness is, what positivity is. Because I can take all that pain and now put it towards all my ambitions and dreams. And that's why I'm healthier than the healthy. So a person who considers himself healthy is a person who probably actually hasn't done any lab work and just doesn't have any symptoms, any problems, and just eats what they want. Right. I'm like, okay, you want to play? You want to roll that game? Go ahead. We'll see how it is in 5 years. But I think people are more inspired to be like me nowadays. People are no longer empathizing me. They're no longer looking at me with almost like, oh, I'm so sorry you're going through this. It's more now inspiration.
Well, yeah, your greatest asset is this horrific story that's now part of this journey. And I would argue that it's the greatest gift you've ever been given.
I would say the same thing. I'd say Crohn's and colitis will be the worst thing that ever happened to you, all chronic disease, or it'll be the best. Yes, yeah. Because if you can move through it, and it's not easy, guys, I'm telling you, it's not linear. It took me years. Yeah. Even after that year, it wasn't like I was walking on clouds. It was still learning and growing and shifting. But I changed my core principles of how I lead my life. Yeah. Health is my number one priority forever. It's never going down. I'm never going to say that I'm going to sacrifice my health for money. Yeah. I'm going to sacrifice my health for fame. I'm going to sacrifice my health for power. I'm not going to do it. And I now am I'm so grateful for my life. Like, I get to lead my kids this way. I get to lead my home this way. I get to surround myself with people who get it because of the pain. It's now the best thing that ever happened to me, and it's not easy. So stop looking for the easy fix and just decide what your principles are. This is what Tony Robbins taught me. Honestly, in his books, it was really about you just got to define what you stand for. What are your priorities? And I realized the 4 years I was failing, I was prioritizing my career. I was prioritizing getting in the gym and keeping muscle on. How many of us are taking pre-workouts and crappy whey protein that's giving us GI symptoms or giving us acne or headaches or making us feel bad, but we got to hit our goal for our protein intake? Yeah. It's not it's not health and performance. It's like health or performance nowadays. It's like so many people were pushing our performance and making ourselves sick. Yeah. And that's what I was doing. It's
a good topic because you don't ever think about it that way. So often we look at health, and if it looks good, it must be healthy. Yeah. But you're right. That's maybe not what health is, and we start really trying to analyze what we're putting in our body. And maybe it's not healthy just because it looks good. I often wonder that, like, how do they get this protein to taste like cinnamon snickerdoodles? You know what I'm saying? Do they crush up snickerdoodles and put them in there from like all organic sources? No, like those are chemicals, right? I don't care if it says organic on it or not. I'm always aware of that. Do you have one with no flavor? Like, what is the wholest ingredient I can? These are places that I think super optimized people get to in their brain when they're making buying decisions. If we can get our audience to even get a quarter there, then we're going to win today big time. But I think the story has already opened up their minds to how bad it can get when you get sick. And I'm glad. If you're healthy right now and you're skating through life and you're just running on emotion, hopefully this stops you if you get to hear some of these clips or if you're hearing this podcast. Now's the trick, though, is if we got the customer out in the world in this vulnerable position where they're like, damn, what if that was me? Mm-hmm. Like, I'm taking a lot of shit for granted right now. I'm not living a life of purpose. All the things that naturally a person might feel, including myself, when I put myself in your shoes. Instantly, I get humbled, grateful. Instantly, I love you. I argue, like, why it's your greatest asset is it's your greatest gift to humanity is what you've been through. And so, your ability, it's funny that you hit it for so many years, because now it's like the greatest weapon you have to impact the world with purpose. So now that we're here, how can you take me now that you've pulled me in and sort of gift me how you got to your health and give me all these considerations that I should start really applying into my life or things that I should be thinking about? Because I think, like, even like my mom, I love my mom, but I remember her telling me one time, like, oh, I'm eating a healthy salad. It had a ranch dressing like package that you open up that came in the plastic tin, at the grocery store. And it's like, you know what I mean? People's perception of health is misguided. So you obviously had to go down some crazy roads. And I'm super curious I noticed you wrote the word intuition and you started journaling. I imagine this is where you started figuring you out.
Yes.
Is listening to your insides. You haven't tapped into that next part here. So I know this is leading somewhere. This is exciting. I want to tune that audience to this reality that, like, this is where the gold's going to happen. Now you're ready to hear it and feel it. Now go absorb this shit and run with it. So how does this start to turn in your life to momentum and to really leading to what you're doing today?
I love it. Thank you. So let's talk about the main components, the cliff notes of how I succeeded and what people can take away to get massive success, and then how to get on the offense of your health. Because right now I think that I could argue that I'm probably healthier than the average person. And how is that possible? And I think that's going to continue to pay dividends. If you're a person who's constantly investing, make an investment in the energy and the health of your life, this is the way to do it. So there were 3 segments that I had to work on. Number 1 was pathogens, okay? So the doctors never told me that I had parasitic infection. The doctors never told me that I had massive candida overgrowth in my colon that I found in a non-invasive stool analysis. The doctors never told me that it was the viral load. It was my mom calling doctors around the country to find the CMV virus. And also, I had a little bit of echovirus, okay? And so I had a few different viruses that I've done a lot of work on. We can get to those solutions now. The doctors never told me that I had massive H. pylori infection causing the gastritis, because they labeled me gastritis with ulcerations. They never told me the H. pylori is one of the root issues of that, and it was also causing very low stomach acid, which was also linked to why I couldn't digest food, because I was getting undigested food in the stool. So I'd see a bunch of stuff come out that it wasn't even digested. So I had very low stomach acid. I had very low pancreatic enzymes. I had, and that H. pylori was one of the root issues. So too much of this bacteria, Helicobacter pylori, can limit stomach acid in a person, okay? And it's also linked with small intestine bacteria overgrowth and candida overgrowth. Candida is natural in our body, but when you take a lot of antibiotics like I did, or you're having a lot of processed sugars, it gets imbalanced, and then candida albicans become a problem within the body. They become intrusive. They basically leach and grow like roots in your gut lining, and so you have systemic leaky gut. So the tight junctions are weakened, allowing undigested proteins, undigested foods to then leak into your gut lining and then go into your immune system, go into your bloodstream, where your immune system reacts to them, and then the bloodstream starts reacting to them, and you create a sensitivity. That's why a lot of us go, I could eat this food, now I can't. Why? So poor digestion, leaky gut, systemic pathogenic issues. So I had all of them at once. So all of those co-infections, when you have one infection, it creates space for another one to come. So synergistically, I have a sewage-like pond instead of a running stream in my body. And so it was over and over again happening that it was just getting worse and worse. So when I was 22, I was a lot better than 26 because those things weren't dealt with. They were just giving me steroids to suppress the inflammation, biologics to suppress the inflammation. But those root issues going on in my anatomy and my microbiome were not being found and treated. And,
is it because the doctors didn't know a lot at that time? Or was this evolving?
Yes, it is. The doctors, it's not their job as much as we think it is.
Right.
They just don't. They're emergency care physicians. They saved my life. Thank you for all the doctors who do all the great work out there. Thank you for your service. You helped save my life. Natural medicine and functional medicine gave my life back to me, and it made me empowered. That's the difference. I wasn't empowered before. And if I had just done the biologics, I'd have no colon, and I might still be even worse today without the colon and biologics.
I get it.
So that was one, the pathogens. I found them. So I do a viral load panel in Germany with Dr. Armin, MD, A-R-M-I-N. Dr. Armin tests. He created a custom plan for me that he believes these enteroviruses and enterobacteria are linked with Crohn's and colitis and linked with cancer. And when I tested, there was the CMV. I finally found the CMV. There was the echovirus. There was the Campylobacter in my blood. And I was able to do before and after and get rid of them naturally. So pathogens are causing massive systemic inflammation. Inflammation is the root cause in 95% of diseases, okay? Mental, gut, arthritic pain, autoimmune, cancers. It was causing inflammation. So pathogens was one of the main things that I had to be able to treat. Number two was going to be toxin overload, toxins. Now, toxins can be anything from a heavy metal to an environmental toxin to an endotoxin released from bacteria. So if you go off and try to kill, let's say, any kind of dysbiotic bacteria, Streptococcus or Klebsiella or any of these other bacteria, they will release a toxin that your body has to get rid of. Right. So imagine you're like a SWAT team, you take the shots at the bad guy and they release a gas, a poisonous gas as you kill them. That's called Herxheimer reaction. Most of us are having a Herx when we try to kill these things. So we have toxic release by trying to rebalance our microbiome, okay? And we also have environmental toxins. So like if you have Crohn's or colitis, you are known to have at least 50% more microplastics in your gut than a person who doesn't have Crohn's or colitis or any form of IBS, okay? And that was, you can check on that Google, just type microplastics inflammatory bowel disease. And lo and behold, I had Invisalign 1 year before I was diagnosed with ulcerative colitis. I was wearing it every day. It's a plastic retainer that I'm chewing on, and my saliva is breaking down the microplastics that I'm then swallowing. Okay.
You think that sparked this thing?
I think it's one of many things. We're going to keep going on it. Okay, so so we have microplastics, we have environmental toxins, because all I ate was Papa John's pizza since 14, working at that place trying to make a buck. So I'm getting the processed foods toxins. I'm getting massive loads of glyphosate. I'm drinking beers with the boys. One of the highest loads of glyphosate, which is the antibiotic found in Roundup Ready that is known to cause cancer and destroy your microbiome as a natural antibiotic. Remember we said about antibiotics and yeast? Its highest amount is in beer, American beer.
Seriously?
Yeah, the highest amounts, American beer.
Barley, maybe?
Yeah, well, just not, they're spraying it. Yeah, it could be from gluten's one of the most highly sprayed glyphosate produce because it's sprayed right before it's cropped. So that's why everyone's getting this gluten allergy, and they do well with gluten in Italy.
Never thought of that.
So, I mean, we could do this for 3 hours, but so one of the first things is pathogens. Okay, we have bacteria overgrowth, we have viral load, we have candida, we have parasites. Okay, and then we also have maybe mold. Mold is also a massive problem for people, and you could be breathing that in. It's not even something you're eating. And then we have toxins. So we have environmental toxins. The main three is going to be air, food, and water. Okay, so our water's got atrazine and it's got chlorine in it. Chlorine is an antimicrobial to destroy your microbiome. Okay. And so we have all these toxins, and what's happening with us is a lot of us can't even detoxify. We're not methylating properly. So our liver is holding on to these toxins year after year. So a lot of us are thinking, what happened at 32 or what happened at 37? Why did I finally get sick? No, this has been building up in your system for years, and you've never been able to get rid of it. So I was doing a test on one of my clients who's 55, had ulcerative colitis for 25 years. She's almost symptom-free right now. Praise God, she is. But we did her environmental tox, and she's got all these toxins, and she's fasting. She's eating organic. She goes, Dane, where do these come from? I said, they've been in your system for 20 years. Your body can't get rid of them. It's just like the toxins from cigarette smoke. Your body can't get rid of it.
Once you know they're there, can you? Now that you know they're there, is there a plan to get rid of them if you know they're there?
That's the benefit of functional medicine. You need supplements, you need therapies. Our body has natural detox systems, okay? So the inability to detox from these toxins is the second big thing that is a core problem.
Right.
And there are 5 detox pathways everyone needs to know, okay? Your skin, your kidneys, your liver, your lymph, okay, and your bowel movements, okay? If you can't poop, you can't detoxify. If your liver can't move, especially if you're getting dark circles under your eyes, you're getting red in the side of your eyes, you're getting a lot of lines and you feel really down and tired and just especially those dark circles, that's usually a sign that your liver is overwhelmed or your body's overwhelmed, okay, with toxic load. So, or could also be delayed food allergies. So your face will tell you certain things about it. So detoxifying the liver is a massive problem for people, and there are chemicals in our energy drinks, those monster drinks you're taking. Yep, tons of chemicals. BPAs, forever chemicals, PFAs, all these toxins are new, they're alien to our body, and our body does not have the ability to get rid of them. Our liver, our kidney, our lymph can't get rid of them. So we store them until we eventually get too sick where our body breaks, and then you get diagnosed with some sort of disease, however it manifests. So that's really the second one is the toxic load, the pathogens, and then the third one that really is working on the body's natural anatomy, which we kind of already alluded to. How do you get your natural stomach acid back up? How did I go from I couldn't drink a sip of water without running to the bathroom and pooping blood to right now? If anyone wants to bet me, I'll eat an entire large pizza with a salad, drink a beer, and go on a 10-mile run, and I won't have to use the bathroom. Because I built my shield. That's all toxic, it's all poison, but I built my body's natural anatomy. So I'm constantly trying to take care of, like most of us are trying to take care of our own metabolism, right? You're in the gym trying to take care of your metabolism, but you're not taking care of your stomach acid. You're not taking care of your liver. You're not taking care of your bile ducts and gallbladder. You're not taking care of your kidneys.
Okay.
What have you ever done for your kidney? What's your plan?
Yeah.
That's the difference. That's where I have the edge. That's why there's a chance I believe I'll probably live longer without disease, and my kids won't either. Because I'm doing these things to support all organs in my body, right? Energetically and physically. So the parts of the anatomy I want you guys to think about is optimize your digestion, okay? If you were worried about parasites or any of this, when you have high stomach acid, your body's gonna be able to kill the parasites before they get in. It's low stomach acid that we're getting the parasites from the pork.
So high stomach acid is a good thing.
You have to have, if you're gonna have an iron gut, if you're gonna feel good, you have to have high stomach acid. It's one of the main defenses we have against the outside environment, making it inside the body.
Okay, so if you're an alkaline body, does that have any effect on like stomach acid?
It could dilute the breakdown. You don't want to have a lot of alkaline water or too much water to dilute your digestion when you eat. You want to sip on a little water when you eat. You want to get the fire burning properly. You want to make sure you're salivating properly. You want to be making sure that you're chewing your food well. And then you need to get your detoxify, because a lot of the stomach acid is the bacteria, it's toxic overload, proton pump inhibitors, medications could be affecting that. So we need to increase our natural digestion, and things you can do is a shot of apple cider vinegar. You could use a tea with fennel or ginger or natural digestive bitters to help. You can
also fermented shot of fermented stuff, does that help with acid?
It can, but that's where the chess game comes in. So everyone who's here, this is why you want to learn the art of natural healing, okay? I believe it's the most valuable thing on the planet. There's not a dollar amount worth more than understanding what we're talking about right now.
Agreed.
Learn the chess match, okay? If you have, let's give an example. If you have high amounts of candida in your body, which a lot of us do, okay, and I have a test in I have a test I'll send you, so I'll link it below that you can take this candida test, okay? And it will just give you a 1 through 300 marker and give you an idea generically. So if you have high candida, then fermented foods are going to exacerbate the problem. Soy might exacerbate the problem. Sugars and certain processed foods might exacerbate the problem. But another person, they're good with it. You have to understand your body and the way at which you try to checkmate your opponent, that disease.
Yeah, no two bodies are the same. You got to know you.
You got to know you. You've got to understand how to play this game. You're walking blind looking for one hack.
Sure.
It's like asking me, should I move my bishop?
Right.
Should I move my bishop?
So,
how good is my bishop? It's like it depends on the game.
So is that true also with everybody that has colitis or has IBS, that just because you have it, you still may be a different formula than this person that has colitis? Okay.
Yeah, everyone in my program gets a customized plan. They get a coach and a customized plan. But so this is what you want. So with the anatomy, you've got to optimize your digestion for all disease. You've got to reset the microbiome. You have to rebalance it. The microbiome is, for the sake of this conversation, it's the city of bacteria in your body that balances a harmony of health. So it balances your immune system. 70% of your immune system along your GI tract in your Peyer's patches, okay, so your T cells and your dendritic cells that create the interleukin cytokines to cause an autoimmune reaction in your, 75% of them are in your gut. So IL-6, TNF alpha, IL-1 beta, these are the attack dogs in the gut that are responding, okay? They are calmed by the good bacteria talking to them. When you don't have enough good and you have all this yeast overgrowth, you have this bacteria overgrowth, they start to become hyperactive, leading to autoimmune. All a biologic does is suppress cytokine reactions. Cytokines are the attack dogs or the suppressors of the attack dogs in your body. All they do is say attack or calm down. So autoimmune disease means that your body is attacking itself without being regulated. And what helps to regulate it is a balanced microbiome.
Okay.
So the city of bacteria has to be balanced. You're not here to eradicate anything. You're here to balance it. So you got to get the good bifidobacterium up. You got to get the good lactobacillus strains up. Is your body ready for it? So polyphenols, fermented foods can help with that when you're ready. Fibers are natural prebiotics, okay? Getting rid of things that are killing the probiotics, like glyphosate, watching antibiotic usage, NSAIDs, processed foods, seed oils will destroy it, okay? And that's going to affect your dopamine. That's going to affect your natural energy.
What about dairy?
Dairy is, you want get rid of A1. So in America, we have this mutated protein of casein called A1. And it is more inflammatory to the body. If you go to New Zealand, like you ever heard like, oh, go have New Zealand or European cow? It's because they have an A2 casein that is more natural to the body, okay? So I like raw. Like, so my 4-year-old son every day now will have raw fermented cow kefir. I'm more of a fan of yogurt and kefir because I like the fermentation process. Lowers the lactose, lowers the casein, so it puts less risk of me needing that much lactase enzyme to break it down, and there's less chance of an allergy. So there's a strategy there. So it's not about, is a food good or bad? It's the manner at which it's prepared and the strategy behind the food. So eggs are not eggs, milk is not milk, meat is not meat. That's the biggest mistake everyone's making. It's not, is a steak good? There's a whole breakdown of what is steak. There's a whole breakdown of what is broccoli. So, for example, I will have A1 beta casein-free raw cow kefir. Will you give me 2% whole milk from the local random place? Never. Milk is not milk. Okay, so that's where we break that down.
Is that pre-pasteurized too? That in that process?
Raw means unpasteurized.
Right.
Unpasteurized, which I like. If you get it fermented, there's less chance of what could happen with raw milk. There have been occasions where raw milk has been dangerous for certain people, which is why we changed it in the United States, because they were shipping raw milk to different cities like New York, and then through that shipping process, they were getting spoiled and contaminated. People were getting sick, so they required everywhere to pasteurize, except 1 or 2 states now in the United States.
Sure, I don't do any milk, but I would try it just because, like, I remember the days of liking milk, but I just found I'm sensitive to it, but just for me personally. But does the taste of fermented unpasteurized milk, is that something you become accustomed to, or is it not that bad?
Oh, I love it. I think it tastes better.
Okay, so it's still creamy. It's not like a tart taste like milk.
No, it's creamy as can be because it has.
Never tried
it's
it.
raw. It's not skim milk. It has the fat hasn't been removed.
Huh.
I think it even tastes better. Yeah. It's almost like I feel like I'm getting a taste of how my great grandfather got to live. Because I'm always thinking I want to live like my ancestors, man. Like, oh man, that's how it really tastes. And after a while, your palate looks for it.
Right.
Like all the beef I eat already has grass-fed, grass-finished liver infused into it.
Yeah.
So I eat a lot of organ meat with my muscle meats.
Sure.
And I actually crave it. I don't want, your body yearns for it. All that vitamin A, all that natural choline in liver, all that natural B12 for energy, B complex, natural vitamin C, magnesium, it's all in liver. It's not, when people say, oh, there's no nutrition in animal, no, it's all in the organ meats. So that's why we're now supplementing with organ meats, ancestral supplements and such. But, to finish off the anatomy, digestion, microbiome, gut lining. You got to fix the gut lining so the immune system isn't freaking out, and that's going to be linked with all autoimmune reactions, okay? And then the nervous system is really big. So like the vagal nerve is what is connecting and communicating with the digestion to respond a certain way. But when you fix that anatomy and you deal with those things, over time and as you win your personal answer, now you can start really thriving in your health. Not just balanced okay, but thriving. If you are a person still listening right now and you want to thrive, this will be the best thing you ever did for your energy. Like, I've had no caffeine today. I have never had a cup of coffee in my life. I don't drink caffeine. I don't need anything except just how I am. And I can work a 12-hour day, no problem.
Yeah. Do you fast? So let's break it down this, because you really broke the problem down, that it's so specific to a person if you're going to get right down to what real optimization looks like. Mm-hmm. But for someone that language might be a little complex, but so they're, breaking it down was, I think, really valuable. But like, what is some take home stuff the average person can grab out of this podcast right now that will be highly valuable to understand, that is like a doable action, like starting today, that, might be in line for optimization, but in a way that is like practical for just the average person that might be listening?
Okay, so what I want you to do to get ahead, and I'll give you a few moves that I wish I had done, would have saved me thousands of dollars, hundreds of hours, and years of pain and suffering if I'd have done this right in the beginning. Okay, is number one, I would say, is focus on what you're not going to do more so than what you're going to do right now. Right now, there's things that you want to get rid of out of your life. And I want you to go ahead and try to make a decision to start practicing them. Maybe you want to be gluten-free. Maybe you want to cut down on beer. Maybe you just want to cut down on drinking. Decide what you're going to eliminate. Things I'd say to eliminate is anything with seed oils, processed foods. I'd get rid of, especially if you're in America, gluten. I'd get rid of processed dairy. I'd be even careful of coffee. I'm not that big of a fan of coffee. I think if you're doing Dave Asprey's Bulletproof, you're going to make it better for certain ways. If you're dealing with any kind of GI issue, get rid of the coffee.
What about sugar? How bad is that in your world?
Sugar is going to feed all of that dysbiosis, all that candida that we were talking about. It's going to hurt your ability to balance your microbiome. If your microbiome isn't balanced, you might be okay, but you're also talking about massive inflammation. You're talking about energy crashes, adrenal issues. Yep. Sugar is not found in nature. It's found rarely in nature. Besides fruit and honey at certain times of the year, we were more likely to be in ketosis or things like that.
Sure.
But it is really great how, the body is made to work off sugar or work off fats. Right. So we can work on both. So you can do.
Because I noticed it wasn't in your top 5 that you naturally laddered off, and I think so many people think it's the sugar that they need to get rid of, but you didn't go right to that. You went to all kinds of other things.
Getting rid of dairy, gluten, and regulating sugar was probably 3 of the things that were really big for me. Another one was getting rid of seed oils. My body. I remember I got a paleo-based meal, and I got it at a restaurant, had Apache Grill. Right? And I'm like, I didn't have all this stuff. I had moderate carbs. I got rid of the polysaccharides. I was having my meat. I was totally paleo style, AIP style. Why am I feeling so bad?
Seed oil.
He cooked it in canola oil.
Yeah.
That little choo-choo train he's doing with that oil.
Yeah.
Rapeseed oil.
Right.
And that's extremely inflammatory to your body, extremely inflammatory to your cells. Mitochondria dysfunction, gut lining dysfunction. Your body can't properly break it down. You're talking cramping, pain, diarrhea, blood, arthritis, brain fog, skin issues, acne, depression. Because when your body can't get rid of toxins, it will cause you to feel lower vibrations. You will feel down. Everyone knows when you have a great poop, man, I'm ready to go.
Sure.
Right?
Does your business only deal with sick people, or do you deal with people that want to get just optimized as like an option to come in, and someone that's not necessarily sick but wants to like take on some of the strategy and practices you're doing to just get fully optimized?
We'll do both, but it's all about integrity. For us, it's all about how can we be in integrity for you? If you come to us with a case and you feel we're right for you, we want to prove that and earn that. We have coaches and doctors all around the world. And we just say, hey, tell us. We've had certain people say, I'm symptom-free, but I want to do more root cause analysis. I want to optimize, as you're saying. And
I don't think a lot of people know where to go because their normal doctor has no concept of what we're talking about.
Yeah, and
so they may be lost, and it can get overwhelming for someone. Then there's no action. I'm always trying to bridge the gap for the average person, and I'm just being honest, towards an actionable place that doesn't seem so overwhelming.
Yeah,
because this can get so complex for people.
I mean, I've been doing this for over 10, 12 years.
You're a pro, right?
But I would say the first things is focus on what you want to eliminate. Mm-hmm. If you have the time and you really want to do this, I would say get a journal. I'll put a link below to the journal as well, guys. My personal journal I used.
Amazing.
And just 5 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes at night. Just start sharpening your intuition and start just learning about your case. Be more sympathetic towards who you are and just write it out and see, wow, I'm drinking 3 times a day or 3 times a week, or I'm having this much sugar. Just start becoming aware of yourself. Start focusing on what you want to eliminate. And then I would start to say, can you make more meals at home? Because no one's going to make it more cost effective, more easy, more better for you than if you can do an at home meal. So like every morning I'll have a shake. So my shake's got all sorts of stuff nowadays in it, but I'll give you an idea of what's in my shake that you might say, hey, I'm going to take what Dane said and customize it to me. So I'll put in all my berries. So berries are lowest sugar, highest in antioxidants, good fibers, good polyphenols. So that's going to be raspberry, blueberry, strawberry, cranberry. Cranberry is really good prebiotic for this bacteria called Akkermansia. That's really good for gut lining. And then blackberry. If you can't handle seeds, be careful with IBD. If you have IBD, take this with a grain of salt. I worked up to this over years. So the berries, and then I'll add a green banana because green bananas are lower in sugar and higher in resistant starches. Resistant starches feed all the good bacteria in the colon.
So that's just one that's not it hasn't aged as long, kind of a younger banana?
Greenish bananas have a lower sugar count. They will spike your glycemic index less. Lower glycemic index means you're going to most likely have less insulin issues, hormonal issues. You'll be less likely to die from one of the 4 deadly horsemen that Peter Ashe talks about in his book, Live. Someone out there quote me on this, but put it right here where it is. Outlive. But the 4 horsemen, so cancer, heart disease, diabetes, and I think strokes is the 4th one. So if you can regulate the blood sugar spikes, you're less likely to die from one of the major diseases.
Right. And so your strategy probably covers all 4.
Yeah, because when you heal Crohn's and colitis, you actually heal pretty much all other. When you do one thing great for one disease, you do great for any possible disease in the future. Yeah. That's one of the beauties of this. Like my chance of all disease has diminished because these are the things you need to do that are preventative towards other diseases.
Sure.
So sugar is a massive issue, but the berries, and then I like to put broccoli sprout. I put a little bit of arugula. I put sprouted organic walnuts, pecans, pumpkin seeds, and then I put organic bone broth protein, collagen, 5 grams of creatine, 2 scoops of essential amino acids, water. I don't need any nut milks. I don't need it. There's no benefits for me.
You don't do what? I'm sorry?
Nut milks.
Huh.
If you want to use a little coconut milk, I think that's the best, but I really don't think they serve much purpose. If you want to use them, sure, but it's just a bunch of chemicals in most of them. And then I think that's about everything. Sometimes I'll put frozen ginger or frozen turmeric if I want to put that in there. And I think that's about it. But it's about 700 to 800 calories, and I'll slow it down.
As far as fasting, in sauna, cold plunge, the all-encompassing package, fitness, diet, all that is there sort of a simple sort of strategy that someone could adopt with pulling this together that without knowing the specifics of their body, that is probably a safe place to just start as a foundational thing?
So with alternative therapies, peptides, cold plunge, sauna, my favorite of all of them is called hyperbaric oxygen therapy, also known as HBOD.
Right.
This is the connection of oxygen. So right now we have air, and then there's oxygen density. Me and you are breathing in about 20% oxygen density in this room. Okay, when you're in an HBOD, it's 88 to 100% oxygen density. So this chamber, imagine it's a big chamber you're in that creates pressure, kind of like imagine if you were underwater, pressure on your body. So under pressure with dense oxygen, okay, we're able to do the majority of what you want in your life. So anything from chronic fatigue to help fix what's called hypoxia. So hypoxia is the lack of oxygen making it to certain cells. This happens when you're inflamed. If you have a damaged tissue, like let's say you had a torn ACL, anyone who's had damaged tissue to a knee injury, leg injury, whatever, chronic inflammation, or you have swelling in your body and you don't have a good lymph movement and good blood flow.
Yep.
The pressure will help drive that dense oxygen to those cells and drastically increase healing response, activate natural stem cells. It'll help regulate the chance of cancer tumors growing by deactivating angiogenesis, which is the recruitment of blood vessels to a tumor.
How often do you do this?
You could do this 60 minutes. It's about 60-minute sessions. If you have chronic issues, I would recommend up to 5 times a week. It is pricey. You need to have time and money for it. But I think that's the most clinically proven. It's used with doctors, medical offices all around the world, predominantly in the U.S. So I think that's someone you should look at.
What about maintenance? Just a maintenance person that wants to just be optimized.
Someone who wants to be optimized, I would say sauna. Sauna between 165 and 185 degrees for 10 to 20 minutes, 3 to 4 times a week has been shown to decrease all-cause mortality by 40%. It also drains your lymphatic system. All those toxins we were talking about
Yeah.
Gets them out of one of the 5 drainage points, the skin. You got to get sweating. If you're someone out there who never sweats, you're at risk. That's one of the biggest things I see when I look at that toxic load.
Sure.
If you never sweat, you are probably loaded with toxins.
I do it 7 days a week, almost every day.
And you feel great with it, right?
I love it. I just don't.
You crave it, right?
I don't not do it. Yeah.
Your intuition tells you if I'm going to optimize my life, I need to sweat.
Yeah.
Okay.
I need to do more cold plunge. My gym just doesn't have one, so it's more of a pain for me. Unless I just got to go buy one, I guess.
I love cold plunge for dropping the inflammation. It can also increase your natural metabolism. So if you want to lose a few
pounds. You think
pounds.
sweat's a more valuable asset, though?
Yes.
You personally?
I personally would take sweat. So I'd say the HBOT and the sauna are going to be my 2 most valuable because, one, they're most clinically researched.
Sure.
So I have the most to say generically to everyone around the world, the thousands listening, that, hey, this is the most research behind it. Sauna, getting your body to release those toxins, as I said, all cause mortality. The second biggest thing that's happening in America right now is you have toxins your body can't get rid of.
Right.
And that's linked with all these diseases.
Sure.
Sweating is one of the best ways to get rid of them.
So a couple more questions. What are some of the best simple supplements that people should be utilizing, especially after COVID?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Whether you did the vax or not, I know there's some really quality supplements that I've heard about that may just be beneficial to be, taken on a regular basis. I'm trying to remember what it was. I know I take something that one of the natural doctors highly recommended, but then peptides. So biohacking. What is your opinion on that kind of stuff?
I like peptides. I tend to recommend a lot of capsule peptides from my main man Kyle at Level Up Health in Australia. Shout out to him. He's awesome. But he has a product called GI Ultimate Repair that has lorazepam, which is kills leaky gut.
Wow.
He's got KPV, which is
good science behind it.
Huh?
Good science behind this?
Great science behind it. But here's the problem with peptides. Most of the science is mice and rat studies. And so if you guys want a good podcast, I know Dr. Huberman has a great podcast on peptides, but the problem is just a lack of science from human studies because the FDA is not approving it, which means it has no money, which means it won't get the science. Yeah. But I've been using BPC 157 for 5 years. I've used KPV, lorazepam, thymosin alpha-1, and TB500, thymosin beta-4. Those are all great ones that I would research for IBD. But
I do the copper and BPC 157.
GHKQ.
Yep.
Yeah, that one's really good.
Don't know why. I just do.
That's good for inflammation, microbiome, all sorts of stuff. Peptides are really, really valuable, but can we take them capsule? Do they need to be taken subcutaneous or sublingual?
Sure.
So subcutaneous is an injection.
Yeah.
That's where most people are going to say that's the best way to get it in.
That's how I do it.
So again, when you talk about peptides, I love them. They're massive. The research and the administration of them can be a problem, and also getting them local, and they're very expensive.
Yeah.
But for me, if you want a good supplement, I say I have supplement peptide. It's expensive. It's like $200, but if you bought everything individually, it'd be about $500.
Sure.
So I think it's the best price you're going to get.
It's cheaper than being sick.
Right? So GI Ultimate Repair, you can go to theibdshop.com if you have IBD and check these out. But GI Ultimate Repair, lorazepam, KPV, BPC 157, zinc carnosine, and quercetin. I think I hit everything, Kyle. But anyways, that's a great one. Another one I'd say for everybody is probably going to be one of my favorite is this new fish oil by a company called Body Bio. It's called Fish Oil Plus. So it's a CO2 extracted fish oil. Most fish oil, in my opinion, is trash on the market because it has been destroyed through the heating process. So this is a CO2 cold extraction of the omega-3 fatty acids, all right? Wow. And it's a really good total amount of EPA, DHA you need. But what's also special is the peptides are wrapped in phosphatidylcholine. Okay, this is a lipid fat. Okay, that's extremely good for cellular health.
You sell this?
I have it on the IBD shop, but this is for everyone. Yeah, so theibdshop.com. You can
that's your spot.
That's our shop for supplements.
We'll send traffic there.
Yeah, if you guys want to check out the IBD shop, or for your own personal, if you don't have IBD, you can check this out. But put a link. Make sure you click the link.
I think a lot of these people just say, "Tell me what to buy. Can you give me like a basket of shit that I need to buy?"
And the problem is you're missing what we talked about with the pain. You're missing you're not going to be who you want to be.
No, they just want to be told what to do.
They were told what to do, so I'm giving you the best I can. But fish oil, it's got the phosphatidylcholine, it's got the omega-3s, it's got everything you need to make sure it doesn't go rancid. I think that's one of the best things you can do for cellular health. I really love that. I really love just straight up curcumin. If you want more of a systemic, Curcume Evail by Designs for Health. You need to be a member for us to sell it because it's a practitioner product, but you can check it on Amazon. Curcume, Curcum Evail. That's great for inflammation totally through your body. It's a little bit of a horse pill.
Sure.
So just a broad spectrum anti-inflammatory, a fish oil. If you want a peptide, GI Ultimate Repair is the best. For energy, I would say I really like this product called, they just discontinued one I really love, so I'm not going to mention that. But I really love something called Mitochondria NRG, and that's a multivitamin for your cells. And there are 2 ingredients I really love to boost your natural energy without caffeine. It's L-carnitine and D-ribose.
I actually take a shot for L-carnitine.
Do you?
Yeah.
Does it help?
Yeah, it's actually quite a bit of fluid. I got a ton of it too. It's like I think I got like 2 years worth. They sent me this massive box of bottles, but it's a shot that goes into the intramuscular.
Yeah.
You could do it actually every day. I do it every 3 days, but it's an entire. I think it's like I'm trying to think how many units are in a big shot, but it's a whole 10 cc's.
Okay.
Into the glute. But yeah, I've heard really good. I mean, what I heard about the injectable L-carnitine is the advances that it has inside your body are worth their weight in gold.
I would agree.
Yeah.
I just take it orally. It's a pre-workout for me right now, so I don't
cool.
need other stimulants.
Yeah.
I just do high dose of like 2 grams of carnitine, 2 grams of D-ribose. There was a product called Ribocarni Clear that they discontinued, unfortunately. But that's great for energy, and I think those are some great supplements. And then a magnesium.
Yeah,
I mean, if you have cramps or sleep problems,
it's huge, right?
You know, a good magnesium can be good. I mean, we have 180 SKUs, so I'm like Picasso in there.
We'll send
use all the paint.
One question that's big right now, and I'll try to wrap here. I know we're a little long, sorry.
No worries.
I just think this is valuable. So many people are questioning TRT. Like, where am I at with that? In a world where testosterone seems to be disappearing, what are the benefits of bringing it in, or is it not worth it?
Okay, so I'm going to allude to a great podcast I just did with a fertility doctor.
Cool. All right.
So she had research to show that men who are doing TRT are much less likely to be able to create a baby.
Sure.
And that was the conclusion I heard from that. And I said, well, that's a little crazy. From the research that she showed me, men between 500 and 800 of total testosterone in the body are the most fertile as men. Okay, so even upwards of 1,000, 1,100, not really needed for that part of it. So that's just there. I think that there's a lot of great ways to get your natural testosterone up that people are missing. There's a lot of good supplements, circadian rhythm, all of that. So I would say do all of the hard work first, because if you want to live a long life more than you want high testosterone. And if you stop the TRT, it's going to go back down. So be careful of the short-term wins.
I agree. One thing that I was interested in is my mentor, Ed Milet. He said, here's a picture of me at 53, and here's a picture of my dad at 53.
Yep.
I'm on TRT, and I have been for 20 years.
Yep.
Here's my dad, and his dad looks 50 years older than him at 53. Wow. Just looks super aged, and Ed looks like a leather, handbag that can fight.
But Ed's the man. It's more than the TRT, dude. Well, his mindset, his actions.
But he just said his connection to that point was TRT. He goes, well, I'm taking TRT. This is me on TRT. Yep. This is my dad on TRT.
So is Alex Hormozi. He's on it because he always had low test. I think in certain cases like that, it would make sense. I'm not a TRT expert. Yeah. I would say if you're thinking you want to have kids, just do a little research on it. Yeah. I'm sure maybe Ed's going, hey, I've got X amount of kids and it's not a problem for me. I think there's not a ton of other problems I've seen.
Well, they're pushing it. The reason I ask is it's everywhere.
It is everywhere.
These pop-up places they're just jamming it down your throat. And I just want to make sure that, as much perspective is heard, because so many people are looking for a shortcut, which I don't think there is one to health. And the TRT ain't it.
Yeah. I'll tell you what I'll personally do with TRT. When I get to that age of 45, 50, I'll reconsider. Sure. I check my testosterone every couple of months.
Stay optimized.
But I can see my testosterone change with my current efforts.
That's cool.
So
you're in tune, though.
Yeah. I mean, one of the things I think a lot of guys are sleeping on is not just leg day and eating certain meats and things. It's you're not sleeping enough, and you're not sleeping in a blackout room. And without proper circadian rhythm, you're not going to build testosterone.
That's a big one. Circadian rhythm's everything.
You're not going to build it. Yeah. So one of the things I did lately is I make sure my room is pitch black. I can't see the hand in front of me.
Wow.
Get your room pitch black and go to bed. If you can get to bed at 10, 9, I bet your testosterone will start going up. Yeah. Use a natural herbal product to help with increasing testosterone. You can also use a little DHEA as a precursor. Yeah, don't skip leg day. Get lots of sun. Yeah. And I'd be surprised
that works.
If it doesn't
sun in the morning,
700 plus or 600 plus.
Grounding, I like to ground too. Just
Grounding's really good. I know you asked about COVID on that, and grounding's going to help with that blood flow. One of the problems with COVID and the vaccine is really a lack of proper blood flow and blood clots. Yeah. So, clinical research has shown that when your feet hit the ground, your blood flow moves better, which is going to help you remove toxins.
I always feel better. When I get off a plane, jet lagged, if I take my shoes off and I go find a sandy beach, I actually literally feel better immediately. I don't feel as tired. I just it like recalibrates my soul to that market.
Yep. They can check out nattokinase.
That's it. That's the one I was talking about.
Nattokinase. It needs to be a certain form from Japan. I think it's called the NSD. Don't quote me on that, guys. NKD, SKD. But you need a specific form. I use one called from Nutramedix. 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 Nattokinase, their form is really good. It's an isolated tincture. It's super quick, super easy. There's nothing else in it.
And then you have glutathione, and then that precursor to glutathione. I heard it's another good COVID, addition after all this craziness.
My favorite glutathione is from Chris Shade Quicksilver Scientific because it's glutathione complex, so it's going to give you my methylfolate, my methyl P12.
Is it liquid?
Yeah, it's liposomal.
I've seen it. Yeah, I think it's one I take. Yeah, it's one I take.
I mean, there's so many hacks. I hope everyone got a ton out of this because we've just been given.
We're fast,
moment after moment.
But the story was so powerful. But I think what I hope resonates is how much goes into it. If you want to be good at something, you got to invest your time to learn it. Yeah. Like this, there's no quick shot. If you want to be good at anything, you got to care about it. Yep. But where we care about it is we put the right story behind it. You had a pain point that created this. Mm-hmm. For me, I argue that health was what saved my life, me personally too. My addiction towards things I care about got me out of drug use. Mm-hmm. So we all have a story, I think, that makes us more powerful in connecting to a routine that is important to us. Yeah. You got to figure out what your story is behind why you want to do this, and you have to stay religious to that story. And I think that's what will create the actions that will stay consistent, because a lot of people don't put the right meaning behind why they're doing something.
Nope. And that's a person. You have to create it.
You have to create it.
Creation.
Like for the gym for me, great example. For the gym for me, I don't go there because of my body. That's a byproduct of what I'm really after. I go for courage.
Yeah.
It's the endorphins that give me self-belief and confidence because I'm insecure. And when I'm confident, I make bold decisions in the marketplace. There's a powerful reason I go there. And I go there because I want to be a winner. And it's that psychological connection to knowing that I'll likely make a hard phone call when I walk out of that gym and I feel powerful, like I have value. If I don't do it, I'm a little bit weaker. That other voice wins a little more.
Yep.
But when I go here and the endorphins spike, the strong voice usually wins. And I would argue every great, bold decision I've ever made came from the idea that was sparked from the endorphins that gave me the courage to go execute.
What you just said makes me want to hang out with you.
Thanks.
Makes me want to be your friend. Makes me want to be close to you.
Yeah,
Everyone realize when you get bold, like he just said, that's how you manifest the right friends. That's how you get the right community. Because a lot of times you're scared to leave your friends. You're scared to leave how your boys were in college. Totally. You're scared to leave how your family is, how your dad is, how even your spouse is. And you're like, man, I want to take this leap, but I'll feel like I'll be alone and I'll lose. We're poisoning ourselves because that's what society does.
Yeah, right.
You took a leap of faith and you said, man, I got to be my strongest so my energy and my efforts are echoing the loudest so that I am more likely to achieve my dreams, and I'm okay with it not going perfect, but I'm going to push as hard. And that makes me want to gravitate towards you.
Thank you, brother. I feel the same way.
What I loved about what you said was the vulnerability. As you said, I'm not always confident.
No.
But you being able to say that as strong as a man you are, as intimidating as a man you can be, that to me, I'm like, oh, I love this guy.
I got to curate it, man.
Because me and you both are being vulnerable, but hard. You can be a vulnerable, strong man. They can mix, and we need to hear that. Yeah. It's okay to have things that are not perfect about yourself, and say, but I am still made of steel, man. Yeah. I'm human, but I'm hard. And man, I love that. It makes me want to gravitate towards you. That is the law of attraction. That is how success is done. You can't win unless you're willing to fail.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. I have to slip this in there just because, and I know we're at time, but I mentioned fasting, and I know we covered so much ground. Last point, and then we'll have to go for part 2 because there's way more to this story. But how important is fasting? Because it is a big topic right now in the health world. How important is that in healing you and then in general? There's a quote I love. Fasting is one of the fastest ways to heal.
I agree. Okay? when you realize that to do absolutely nothing is one of the most powerful things you can do, because you are not the answer. The body is the answer. The divineness that's happening is the answer, okay? Right. So what is happening with fasting? When you're fasting, you're really trying to trigger something called autophagy. Autophagy is when the body starts to eat itself looking for nutrients. What it does is, imagine like if you lost your keys and your house was a mess. Okay, autophagy is you cleaning up the house looking for your keys.
Sure.
Okay, so when you're cleaning it up, you're going, oh, there's a senescent cancer cell. Eliminate that.
Yeah, hormesis.
Yep, there's these heavy metals. Let's go ahead and get rid of that. Oh, look, there's more environmental toxins and some glyphosate. Let's get rid of that. And so you completely clean out the body, and your chance of disease goes dramatically down. If you look at the clinical research of doing nothing, it costs no money to fast. Of doing nothing, your chance of cancers goes dramatically down. Your chance of autoimmune disease goes dramatically down. Your chance of all diseases goes down. The body needs a chance to catch up. You can't just wake up and go, I'm going to eat toxins 3 times a day, drink toxins at night, sleep for 6 hours, and then start all over again year after year without a break, or you will get sick. Yeah. So fasting is one of the fastest ways. You're looking for autophagy. You're going to clean out the cells. It's one of the divine things the body can do. If you're underweight, if you're malnourished, if you're chronically sick, be careful with fasting. How I fasted is once a week, I would have only bone broth on Sundays. So I would do a little bit more prayer.
Easy.
I do a little bit more meditation. I do a little bit more breath work. Yeah. I wouldn't go lift weights or anything like that. And I just get lots of sun, feet in the ground, and I would just sip on that bone broth, baby. Chicken broth with chicken feet, chicken back, celery, all that good stuff, all the natural glucosamine, all the natural
because you stay
collagen.
In ketosis, right, with bone broth. You're not naturally, you're really not, you're not breaking a fast technically.
You're in ketosis and you're not truly breaking a fast, but the benefits, are you still in autophagy? Not as strong as if you did a water fast. If you want to do an extreme fast for 72 hours and work on your liver and different organs, you can go there, but that's advanced. I wouldn't mess with that. If you're looking for just to start like beginners, try this. Don't eat dinner Saturday night and try not to eat dinner again until Sunday night.
Yeah, that's
and just
so
have
easy.
Broth.
I do it almost every day.
Yeah, and don't go hard run, and it's not that hard.
I always thought but
winners do it. We're like, man, I got a big day. I don't have time to eat.
No, that's what it's been a game changer. Because I used to pack the lunches with all the little slots because I used to eat like a bodybuilder. Yeah, because that's what I was trained as a flex
6 times a day.
Flex fitness. Let's keep it going.
Yeah.
And
you still jack.
What's crazy is I barely eat now, and the muscles hasn't really left. It's kind of a myth that you just get skinny and all the muscle disappears.
Yeah,
I think I'm just as strong with the little amount of calories and it makes my wife so pissed. You know what I mean? Because I just get away with it. I don't know why.
40 grams of protein.
The point is, I have my own little system for protein. But at the end of the day, I found a system that works for me. But what I find is my mind is so clear all day.
Yeah.
And it allows me to work without ever getting tired. And I remember the days of forcing food down at 12 after my third meal. And I'd be sitting in my office at work, not wanting to go back out there. And now I effortlessly work all day and enjoy no matter where I'm at, I'm always working, but I'm in what I'm doing. And if there had to be a food to get in, and now I'm around people and all they want to do is eat, and I'm like, oh my God. You're so annoying. We got to get food, and they start getting cranky and weird. Is Colton upstairs, our producer? No, he's the guy. I travel everywhere with him. He's always getting cranky. He's got to eat. I'm like, dude, you don't need to fucking eat, bro. It's 11 o'clock in the morning. Well, you're going to live because now we got to stop.
Insulin issues.
Yeah, I got to pull off the road. I'm like, dude, I'm focused right now. What are you doing to me? I got to smell his weird food.
It's probably sugar. His sugar's dropping. He has to eat to get his sugar.
I'm joking with him, but no, we do. You're right. Yeah. We rub off on people on the right way, and we try to always set a high bar.
Let's point out a big fact for just one big nugget for everyone just listening to what you just said. What you did is trade potentially having 2-inch bigger biceps or a little stronger bench or a little bit bigger.
True.
For more energy, more focus, and more creation of your actual dreams.
Take the muscle.
What are we doing, guys?
I agree.
What are we talking about? What is 2 inches on your shoulders? What are we talking about?
It's nothing.
Give me 2 inches in my bank account.
Do you want to know the truth too?
I want 2 more inches there.
With my shirt off on a fasted lifestyle, I actually look bigger than I did when I used to pound healthy, quote unquote, calories all day. Yeah. I actually look bigger with 10 pounds less weight. Maybe 15 pounds less weight. I actually look bigger with my shirt off because my body composition is so much better on a fasted routine. Yep. But I haven't really lost muscle. I just think I lost the inflammation. And I still argue that I'm not perfect, but I remember looking at old pictures of me and I'm like, and I was big and ripped.
Yeah, but you were swollen.
It was just bigger face.
And which one does your wife prefer?
Oh, this one.
So you have to work harder, less in the gym now.
It's
for
so
something
easy.
Your wife prefers.
You
have more energy, and it's giving you more time to build your dream.
At the gym, all I really do, this may piss a lot of people off that work hard, is I get into a state where my endorphins start thinking, and then I write notes. I have ideas.
Wow.
I'm listening to books in the gym. Like, I'm kind of going through the motion because I check the box, I flare the endorphins, I do it, but I'm always after money.
Yeah.
Like, and I say that because it jarring, it works, but I've connected endorphins to making money in the marketplace. And what that really means, I'm going after my dreams.
Yes.
I'm connecting to purpose. I'm doing scary shit. And without that gym, I literally am not as good as a person as I could have been that day. Mm-hmm. I might have missed something and I just don't feel as good.
Nope.
That's why I don't take Sundays off, because even if it's an active recovery day, so valuable though, I think, to put the right story behind it. It's just something I rarely hear. But to do that with the fasted lifestyle, it allows me to like really go after what I want out of life. Mm-hmm. Nothing's slowing me down. And I always feel good. And so that is a trick, I think, that was big in my life when I started going down this world, was realizing how much food made me feel like shit.
Well, you're talking about an energy that's intangible. So this is more of a black belt energy you're talking about to everyone out there. So some will really hear this.
Right.
You're saying it helps me make more money to go to the gym?
Yeah.
How does that make sense?
Oh,
1 + 1 doesn't equal 2, right?
We could talk about this for an hour.
Oh, okay. So last thing, we're going to wrap it up though. But I'm loving this conversation because this is manifestation.
Okay.
Okay, sorry. I'm sorry. We're going to end it here. We're going to end it. But this is a big thing. And I say the same thing with healing myself. I could say reading a book on mindset helped me stop the bleeding in my colon.
Right.
Like where is the tangible? It's frequencies. It's the more you can echo an energy outwards, the more likely you're going to get what you want in all senses of life.
Right.
If you want to hit those numbers, especially when you're building a big business and you're not doing the sales anymore, and you've got a team of 15 employees or 30 or 150 employees, you have to continue to try to create an energy outside of what you can control.
Sure.
And that's what you're really looking for.
That's a good leader.
If you don't feel like you're going to make a lot of money, you're probably not going to make a lot of money.
No.
If you don't feel like you're healing, you're probably not going to heal.
Yeah.
It has to happen. You're going to feel it before you see it.
Yeah, success is a frequency.
Yeah. Believing is seeing. It's not seeing is believing.
That's true.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so good. Where should we send people if they want to get into your world, learn more about you, follow you, work with you? If someone's sick, God forbid, we're praying for you. But if they want to connect to you, where can we send them?
So Crohn's Colitis Lifestyle.com. Crohn, CROHNS, Colitis Lifestyle.com. You can follow me, Dane Johnson 1 on Instagram, or Crohn's Colitis _lifestyle on Instagram. We're also on YouTube. And the thing I would just say is, if you decide to work with our team, we're going to do everything in our power to get you massive success. I want to first earn your trust. I want to be integral. I think integrity and trust are key components of what we need in our leaders, and I want to walk in that path. So if I'm right for you, I'm going to do everything in my power to help you get this utmost success in your life. Let's get massive success together. You can do it. Healing is possible. Eric, thank you so much for having me on. God bless.
God bless.
I'm beyond thrilled and grateful to have met you and be here today.
Inspiring story, and your energy is contagious, and I love being around people like you. You elevate me, and I suggest you guys go follow him, get in his world, absorb this energy. It's so powerful. Thank you guys for listening. If you like the show, please share it. Like, this message doesn't get out. We don't work if you don't. So if you like this, if you think it's valuable, if you have someone you care about that needs to hear this message, make sure this lands in their inbox somehow. Tag them. And keep supporting the show. Thank you so much. Thank you, brother.
Thank you, man.
All right.
I'm a man on a mission.